most famous physical therapist on the internet.
Hi, folks. I'm Bob Shaw, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Because we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course.
Apparently,
Bob,
we need to wake up. We're sleeping too well on the Sleepovation mattress.
our semi-routine was
Off.
off.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about the glute max and medius strengthening, shape up or get shapely, right?
There you go.
5 best exercises, no weights, and it's science-based. But before we do that, Brad,
yes,
if
Bob.
you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Also, get the chance. Good week to sign up for our giveaway. We're giving away a Sleepovation mattress. You can see a sampling of one right here.
Yes.
Go to bobandbrad.com, go to the giveaway section, and you can sign up for it there. Or you can also go to Facebook. It'll be pinned to the top of the page, the contest. Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok if you want a 60-second version of our program. Wow.
I've always wanted to do that, Bob.
Yeah, you could at a boxing match. So the mattresses have 700 individual mattresses, and they have air channels, so they're nice and cool. They're awesome mattresses.
They are. I can personally say I love mine.
So they're also giving away 2 pillows. The pillows actually have springs in them, believe it or not, but you don't feel them. They're very comfortable. Brad and I also enjoy these.
Off with those two, Bob.
All right,
Let's
Brad,
carry on with our
go to work now.
Bob, Gluteus Maximus, Gluteus Medius. We know Gluteus Maximus is one of the largest muscles in our bodies. Medius, it's in the hips, and this is what people are thinking about. They want to shape up their body. That happens to be one of the parts.
So the max is in the back.
Yeah.
Medius and minimus are right on the sides here.
It gets a lot of attention for a lot of good reasons. But as therapists, we do not think that at all. We realize that the glute maximus has a great deal to do with your mobility. If you're walking up a hill, if you're running, you need to get out of a chair. That muscle is a big prime mover. The medius muscles are really important for your stability, which stabilizes your pelvis, which can affect back pain, hip pain, and knee pain.
And balance.
And a very good, Bob, and balance.
And I think the same with the Maximus, it plays a large role in lifting correctly.
Right. So there's a lot of reasons why to do these exercises. So I thought I'd do some research. Let's find out what are the best exercises people can do at home without big fancy weight machines, etc.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you for taking the time.
So JOSPT, Journal of Sports Physical Therapy, in 2013 had the same idea, and they came up with these 5 exercises. They started out with 11 of them and narrowed them down to these 5 exercises. So doing 10 to 15 reps of these per day as we show them, and do them daily. Take a day off. I always recommend 1 day off.
Do you mind if I say the title of it?
Oh, no, yes.
How to isolate glute max and medius. Goal to decrease low back pain, hip pain, and knee pain.
Right.
So, I mean, they had the idea in mind that, this can lessen pain in the back, hip, and knee.
While shaping.
Yes.
All right, they're sick and tired of babbling, Bob. Let's go to work. All right, so you do need, you need to have some resistance in the form of a loop band, or if you have a resistance band, you could tie a knot in it, I suppose.
Yep.
One way or another, it's a pretty small item, as far as price. So the first thing we're going to do.
You want a pillow, Brad, or not?
No, that's all right.
Okay.
I hope you don't mind my socks. They're not my workout socks. People do talk. So you put the loop
about my socks they talk.
Yeah, there was an issue there too. The loop band will go right above the knees, just above the knee joint, and you get to actually lay down with this exercise. If you want a pillow, you can, but you're not going to be here that long. And you're simply going to do sideline clamshells.
It looks like a clam opening up.
Yep. And
so your heels are and ankles are staying together.
Right. Yeah. So if we go from this angle, so you get that view. And you go up as far as you feel comfortable. The color of the band, the darker the band, the more resistance. This is yellow. This is one of the easier ones, which is enough for me. I feel these muscles working already. Bob can attest to that.
Yeah, let me warn you novices that you may want to start off without a band.
There you go, Bob.
And also make sure you're doing this every other day to start with, or every third day. I started off and I was like, I haven't been strengthening my gluteus medius or minimus. And so I started using a black band and I started doing it every day. And I was doing 2 sets of 20. And like, oh my God, I got so sore. I couldn't sleep on my side.
Oh,
It was
Bob. Why,
it was
Bob?
sad. I thought I was in decent shape, but when there's muscles that you don't use,
What does your wife do when you get like that?
I don't tell her because
She knows you're grunting and groaning over something silly you did in the basement. Okay, we're going to go to the next one is bridging, which is this motion. But actually the study was specific, one-legged bridging. So one leg out like this, and you can tell it's much harder, and I can feel that glute maximus kick in better on this. One word to the wise is this could make a hamstring cramp.
Yes.
So if it does, you straighten that leg out and you sit up and stretch it to get rid of it. If it's a real problem, what works is if you put your foot up on a piece of furniture. We don't have that stool handy, do we, Bob?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So most people will be able to do these, especially if you're younger and fit, without any problem. And do 10 to 15 of these, and all these makes you do right and left, obviously.
If they had to, they could start with 2.
Right.
2 legs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Bob. Thank you. All right.
All right. What's next, Brad?
Bob, this one's a nice one. Quadruped, as therapists call it, or on your hands and knees. All these. You should do them on a carpeted floor. Hard floor is not comfortable, but
bed's unstable.
Yeah, not on a bed. It's not going to work out well. We're doing this just for video purposes.
Put a mat down on the floor.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so the next one, hands and knees, and we're simply going to do hip extension. While you do this, stabilize your core. Don't let your back arch real far. Most people don't round up, but get it straight. Tighten up the abdominal muscles so it stays stable, and out. And we're going
Look
to
how nice
do
and straight Brad is.
hip extension.
Sure.
So, and the higher you go, it gets a little more difficult. But you can see if you go higher, my back starts to arch.
Right.
And so, pay attention to that. Don't overdo that.
You're really kind of just going up to level, aren't you, Brad?
Yeah. Well, I can't see. So, but I'm a
yeah.
little tighter. Some people may be more flexible. Some may not.
You're going a little above level now.
But I can definitely feel that glute max working. So you'll want to do it 10 or 15 times right and left, and then do it like this. Flex the knee so it's about a 90-degree bend, which is sometimes kind of hard to tell.
You're pretty good actually right now.
And
now you're drifting away from it.
Well, it's because in my case,
You're
my
gonna cramp.
hamstrings are tight because I've been running some exercises, and I can feel those hammies cramping. And it's not worth a hamstring cramp.
Yeah, do what you can because you're putting the hamstring on slack.
Yeah.
And you're isolating the glute max that way. So
we got to do a video on cramps again, Bob. I got to work my way through this.
Sure.
It depends on my exercise routine. Anyways, that's not in this video.
Right.
And the last but not least.
Oh, the shuffle.
The shuffle. Now, this one you could do without the band, but it's not really going to do the job. You should have.
I like this one. It's nice and functional.
Yeah.
It translates to real life really well. And you get, yep.
There you go. So above the knees, so it's not over the kneecaps. Start out in a position like this, in that kind of a
like basketball defense.
Athletic stance.
Yep.
And we're simply going to take your time and good control, good stability with your shoulders. Don't let things bounce around and get undone. Now, I'm kind of limited here in our studio, but you could go, the length of a room. You could speed it up a little bit. And this really works at glute medius, which is a real stabilizer.
Yeah, it's interesting when you're, both glute mediuses are working at the same time right now because one's stabilizing and one's actually contracting.
Whew, okay,
So,
I can feel them right there.
Yeah.
So I got to take a rest.
So
There you
you
go.
didn't feel like doing MC Hammer? I can't touch this.
No,
Oh,
can't touch what?
Can't. Never mind.
I don't
Somebody
know
out there-
where he
some-
comes up with this stuff.
Somebody out there explain this to him what we're talking about.
MC Hammer. What the hell is MC Hammer? All right, we got to go. Good luck with your
Brad and
exercise.
I can fix just about anything
Except for,
a broken heart.
there you go.
But we're working on it.
That's
You
right.
can trust us. Thanks for watching.